Hey, Devin here. In today's video, I'll talk about the 4 biggest lessons I learned at the Qualtrics X4 Summit. So the first lesson I learned is if you want an experience to be viral, it has to invoke a visceral reaction. And this is from my boy Mark Rober, who is a NASA engineer turned YouTube creator. And if you can't tell by this picture, we hang out all the time. So he has 23.6 million subscribers on YouTube, and each one of his videos go viral. And what he explains is that his secret to success is to simply invoke a visceral response. And he simply defines a visceral response by making a person feel one of these emotions. You either make them laugh, curious, sad, angry, amazed, shocked, inspired, or feel vindicated. And this is important because when people see or experience something that triggers a powerful emotional response, they're more likely to share with others. So it's like a very, very high NPS score where everyone just recommends everyone to their friends and family. And this connection can lead to greater customer loyalty as people are more likely to stay engaged with the brand that resonates with them emotionally. And you can tell that he practices what he preaches because I was personally able to set a Guinness World Record at the end of his presentation. The second lesson I learned is to start embracing unstructured data. And this lesson is from 2 IO psychologists, Antonio Pangallo and Matthew Evans from Qualtrics. And both these guys are XM advisors. And the big takeaway here is that businesses and organizations should start focusing on collecting and analyzing unstructured data in addition to traditional structured formats. The reason being is because with recent advancements in data analytics and machine learnings have made it increasingly easy to extract valuable insights and trends. So even if you just look at Qualtrics platform, they have like Text IQ, they have XM Discover, they have Predict IQ, which pretty much just tells you the answer. And by harnessing the power of unstructured data, businesses can obtain deeper insights into customer behavior, market trends, and other crucial factors that can guide their decision-making processes. The third lesson is to define value intentionally so you can focus activity specifically. And this is from Christopher Rosette, a director of people analytics from Amazon. So Amazon is notorious for using data in a way that's like borderline unethical to gain competitive edge. So I was like, I definitely want to see what this guy has to say. So what I learned from him was that organizations should start proactively and purposely establish the key objectives and priorities that drive value creation, right? And this process involves understanding what the organization wants to achieve and how it tends to measure success. So by doing so, it becomes possible to align efforts and resources towards specific targets, ensuring that everyone is working towards the same goals, right? And this really reminds me of the Einstein quote where like, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I would spend 55 minutes defining it and 5 minutes solving it. So once you do that, it's very easy to align goals and set objectives across the organization. The last lesson I learned is that one bad interaction can ruin the entire experience. And this lesson was learned from Ryan Reynolds not showing up at the X4 Summit. So despite having a great time at X4, where I met Mark Rober, I saw Tony Hawk, I had delicious food from the food trucks, I enjoyed the performance by the Killers, the first thing I told my fiance when I got home was that Ryan Reynolds did not show up. And this got me thinking of how many customer touchpoints there are and how businesses need to start prioritizing creating positive experiences for the customers at every touchpoint to build and maintain their loyalty. Because a single negative experience a customer has with a business can cause them to lose trust and loyalty in the brand, potentially leading them to lost revenue and damaged reputation. So those are the 4 biggest lessons that I learned at the Qualtrics X4 Summit. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn and feel free to leave a comment down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.